The Ghost Cult Magazine podcast welcomes in once again the great Danny Filth. How are you doing, sir?
I'm great, thank you. Thanks for the big up there.
Yeah, cool. I mean, always a pleasure. We've chatted several times over the years. We met before, actually, most recently at Irving Plaza in New York City a year and a half ago on that tour, which was marvelous. You guys were in terrific form on that whole tour, which we covered multiple times. And Bloodstock we covered. You guys were incredible. So it's been, unfortunately, despite the events of 2020, it has been a very good time for Cradle of Filth, I would have to say, from an outsider's point of view.
Yeah, we were very fortunate. The last year was another really busy, stupidly busy year for us. Like, we went everywhere, indescribably busy. And then we like at the back end of the year, we finished off on a big high with this big performance at London Palladium, and then set about writing the record. And then this happened, and we were like, this is so lucky because the studio's close to where I am, where I live, and even through lockdown, I was able to go there, just me and the engineer. We fortunately had the drums done before all this happened. We had guides, obviously, from demos and stuff. So before guitars or bass were done, I was singing, and we could only do so many hours a day, and so it just became, and nobody knew what's happening, so it was just very, very relaxed, and we weren't under any pressure at all. And subsequently, because of that, we've probably written the best record we ever have, or at least recorded it, got the opportunity to amend stuff as we went along, and re-listened to it a lot. I mean, we're just literally just about to start the mix now, which will probably take 3 to 4 weeks. Running on COVID time, that is. And yeah, I mean, if had it been the other way round, like last year was our studio album year, and this, we would have had a lot of things like a lot of bands have had cancelled. I knew bands that were literally just about to step foot outside the door to go on tour, ordered all their merch, had the bus ready, blah blah blah, plane tickets, venues booked, etc., etc., and then it's all gone to shit because of this business.
What a kick in the junk this year has been. And again, I seriously hope, again, you've been well, your family's well, the band's well. I know it's not very metal to be, concerned with the human condition, but, I love talking about music, and I'm so grateful to have music and stuff. But also, like, people have lost lives and jobs, and our whole industry is ruined at this moment. I believe it's going to come back, but I also like to make sure that everybody's okay that I talk to, because it's okay to not be.
Yeah, no, it's good. It hasn't been a washout year. It's just had to deal with it. It's mutate and survive, isn't it? Much like the fucking virus is doing.
Exactly. And it will continue to do so. But on the plus side, the big news for Cradle is this live stream concert from St. Mary's Church. Probably right off the bat, the best artwork I have seen this entire year is this poster for the live stream. I don't know if you have been a fan of live streaming or have you watched any others, but I'm very interested to see what kind of production and spectacle you can pull off that will hopefully live up to Cradle's reputation.
Well, that's the plan. I must admit, I haven't watched anybody's live stream, and I've heard of some. I briefly saw a bit of the 69 Eyes and Then Comes Silence ones, but literally briefly. And basically, it's because I've been believe it or not, I've been very busy in lockdown. And if I haven't been busy, I've been catching up on Netflix, like most people. But yeah, it's always good not to see what other people are doing. Like, literally, when we do an album, I try and steer away from any records that are current, like, so nothing bleeds over and it becomes, like, people can say, oh my god, you sound exactly like, and then you become part of the movement that's going somewhere. We try and be as original as possible and go in our own direction. So yeah, I haven't literally seen any, but we know what we want to do, and we know the possibilities, and we know the platform that's hosting it is going to be really cool, and there's lots of cool things we can do, like virtual meet and greet and stuff like that. And we've got an amazing venue, and after a considerable amount of time because this has been in the planning stages since May. Most notably because the venue we chose, which is in, I think it's the oldest Roman town in England, which is the next town along from where I live, Colchester. The church in question is an art centre. We played there several times before, but it's now chosen the time to have some refurbishment being undertaken. And so originally this live stream was happening in July, then August, then September, and then we thought, fuck it, it's going to be Halloween. We'll make it Halloween. That way it's safe and it's done. And yeah, it's going to be really good, in fact. We've got good plans for it. It'll be the first show that our new keyboardist / backing singer would have undertaken. So it's going to, yeah, it's going to be, the whole thing is going to be a challenge, but it's new and it's exciting, and you know, it's going to be the first and probably only concert that we play as a band this year. So naturally, we're over the moon about it.
Exactly. And I have to say, I have seen a few live streams, and I've seen a few that Veeps themselves have put on, who is your partner for this, and they have done a really great job with the ones I've seen. So that's encouraging. They seem to have the problem is, I think the technology it's not universal for everybody, and it's not there quite yet 100%, but what I have seen has been excellent, and Veeps has done the best ones I've seen. So I think that's a real good start. There's got to be some good things to celebrate and have going for us this year. It has been such a tough year, and I do believe we'll get it back. I did see that a lot of the festivals, especially in Europe, are going to plan to come back next year, which is great. A lot of them have been just people have carried their tickets over, which helps the whole industry. When do you think you would be comfortable playing in front of a room again? Because you're such a, you jump around, you're such a visceral frontman. You love the fans. Like, when will you feel safe and comfortable to play gigs again?
Well, strangely enough, I've actually started going back to the cinema, and I think it's perfectly safe. I mean, the usual time me and my friend or me and my daughter go to the cinema, like, it's last thing at night anyway, so it's no different really. And I've chosen to keep on like a cinema card, it's this monthly pay thing, even though there's no films to watch as per se. It's because I just think it's, if people don't try and uphold these sort of things, it's just going to go away. It's going to go bankrupt. That cinema's going to close. It's like I still buy CDs. I don't need to. And in fact, I'd rather not do, because they, they're starting to intrude on my personal space. Not so many of them.
Right.
But to be fair, I love them. But one of the main reasons is because, I like supporting this. I mean, I've got friends who own no CDs. They don't even buy, in fact, a lot of them don't even have streaming services. It's all bootleg, or only listen to it on YouTube. And I'm like, and you're moaning about shows and whatever. And, this is your niche. This is your area of expertise. You're in this metal community and you're expecting fans to pay for your album, but you're not buying anybody else's. Fucking ridiculous. So I kind of see it like that. Hence why I go to the cinema. I'm trying to keep that, not personally keeping it alive, but every little bit helps, I think.
Right.
And the same with the music thing. I mean, I guess the show is keeping not only the fans' relationship with the band a little bit more alive, but it's keeping the band's relationship with the fans more alive, and the band's relationship with itself. Because, I haven't seen, but I've seen the musicians like once when they've been in the studio, and we've been trying to, even though for example, the bass player was in there a month ago, and I just went once to see him because he's got a window of opportunity. I don't want to get in the way. And yeah, he's got to do the best he can do. He doesn't need me breathing down his neck. But as a band, yeah, we literally haven't seen each other since our last show, which was in November last year in Bruges in Belgium.
Right. And that was quite a tour. You had just finished, that was an extensive period of touring.
Yeah. Years. Oh, well, no, longer than that, I think. Like full on touring, but great.
Worldwide too. You had done the Cruelty tour and the Cryptoriana tour. So yeah, like an exhaustive time for you. And then
we,
you know,
we do have we've had a tour booked. It was booked for this September. I mean, obviously, naturally, we've taken longer on the album because of this COVID thing, and it's just given us a grace to do that. Nobody knew what was happening, when it was going to end. There's only so many hours you could. We're in quarantine. Blah 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 blah. So it's been more relaxing because of that, and a better record, as I mentioned. I think because of that as well. I think it's probably the best record we've ever written, and definitely performance-wise, it's full on. It's really good, and it's not even mixed yet. And I'm saying all that, but yeah, the tour was booked, and it's a big, like, us with 3 other big bands. It was booked for this September. It's been moved 4 times to try and, you know, get ahead of the curve. Now it's I can't tell you I can't tell you anything about it. I shouldn't even be saying this, but it's booked for next September now. That's a whole year's jump. Well, actually, no, it's a year and a half's jump from when it originally should have been. And yeah, that could be moved again as well. But who knows? It's how long is a piece of string? How long before people get vaccinated against it? And even people are saying, "Oh, I don't want to take the vaccine." That's going to inhibit travel as well, I think. But we'll see. I'm supposed to be going to Italy actually on Friday, and it's one of the very few places that are still open to UK residents traveling abroad. I mean, everywhere you can travel anywhere, but you've got to quarantine for 14 days when you get back. I can't afford to do that. I'm supposed to be in the studio mixing a record. But yeah, I haven't seen my girlfriend really for all of this year, and so she's coming from Spain. She's having a headache getting there, and we're just hoping that the travel corridor doesn't shut, because we've had this problem with getting musicians out, to do the album. We had a real problem with Ashok, because the Czech Republic, obviously we had lockdown for ages, and then Czech Republic was only open. It's now shut again, otherwise he would have had a quarantine for 2 weeks when he got here before we could even record. So yeah, it's been a bit of I guess, it's not just for us either. I'm speaking for personal experience, but everybody else, it's been a ball ache as well.
Right.
But yeah, it's been more complicated than it's given precedence for.
Indeed. But we'll persevere. We're tough sons of bitches, human beings, and I think we're gonna make it through okay. And I'm
hopefully make it through and learn by a lot of the mistakes as well.
Or we'll be doomed to repeat them if we don't. So,
yeah. The thing is the financial aspect. It's all very well and good harping on about how well it's done for the ecological system and neutralizing carbon emissions, and we really need to think about, because this is obviously the planet telling us we're fucked, and if we keep eating into the rainforest and eating indigenous tribes and whatever else we're fucking doing at the moment, deep mass sea trawling, and it's it's a warning. And I think the trouble with humanity is we're going to go through a massive financial crash, and everybody's going to be out for each other. Not out for each other, they're going to be out for themselves. Like, I need to live, I need to do this, I need to do that, I need to buy that, I need to have this. And I think we'll quickly forget about the promises we probably made when we're all sitting on our asses, counting the strands of oregano out.
Nice. Just as we start to wrap this up, I want to be respectful of your day and time. You said you've been to the cinema. What other things have you been doing to just keep yourself occupied beside music and the cinema?
Actually, I had some time for the family. Had family visiting. Had my birthday. Been doing a lot of business for the band as well. We've got a few collaborations coming up. Well, we've had a few collaborations, like Ridiculous or Not, the tea, the beer. With the live streams taking a while. Naturally, we're also doing the record as well. I think chilling, doing a lot of stuff at home as well. Going for long drives, seeing the countryside, doing things a little bit, I need to read that book, I should get around to doing it. Podcasts, audiobooks, treadmill.
Nice. Anything good you want to recommend? Anything good you want to recommend on the book or podcast front that we can check out?
No, not really, not as such. Currently I'm listening to Sandman, with Audible books, which is the Amazon thing, and it's fantastic because it's a whole Sandman Chronicles. It's like 10 hours or whatever. It's all got famous people doing the voices, and it's got sound effects and music, and the same for Jeff Wayne's War of the Worlds, which is also on Audible. Which is one of my favorite albums of all time. So it's a musical about War of the Worlds. It's really apocalyptic, and they've extended the musical with the story. So you have the whole story read out, but it's got the musical going with it, and all the pizzazz and the alien invasion. Oh, it's fantastic. So strongly recommend both of those things. And currently, Netflix have been probably watching what everybody else has been watching. Doom Patrol, Castle Rock, The Boys, which is fucking amazing. Penny Dreadful, LA, Lovecraft Country. Yeah, a few things.
Nice. Yeah, I love The Boys and Lovecraft Country. And I also saw, since you mentioned Netflix, I binged all of Umbrella Academy over the summer. That was marvelous.
Yeah, Umbrella Academy. There's been some really good stuff this year, which is weird because obviously it didn't come out it's been, made a year, maybe 2 years ago, a lot of the stuff, and it's funny how current it is. There's a lot of racial tension in a lot of Lovecraft Country is a perfect example. It's like the undercurrent of the series, possibly more so than the Lovecraftian monsters. The same with the Umbrella Academy had racial tensions in that, kind of echoing exactly what's happening today, even though it wasn't brought out because of it. But I'm enjoying all of it. I think it's great, and I'm loving The Boys. I just love, and everybody's going, "Oh God, not another fucking superhero movie." But I love the fact that it's more down to earth, and it's very visceral, very sweary. Doom Patrol's much like that as well, but it's just nuts. I don't know if you've seen Doom Patrol, a DC series.
I have.
It's just crazy. I mean, like the transsexual street, it's just mental. It's awesome.
Right, very well done. Good to have things to entertain us. I'm looking forward to this Cradle live stream. I cannot wait to hear this new Cradle record. Dani, it's always a pleasure and an honor. I wish you well. Be safe on your travels. Enjoy your holiday. I hope it all works out.
Yes,
and we'll report back after this live stream. I wish you the best. We'll talk soon.
Thank you. It's been a pleasure. Cheerio.
Take care, sir.
Bye.